A source tells ESPN's Mike Reese that free agent running back LeGarrette Blount, who was released by the Steelers on Tuesday, has now agreed to a 2-year deal with his former team, the New England Patriots, for the veteran minimum plus incentives. Blount spent last season with the Patriots before signing a 2-year deal with the Steelers in March. Skip, good move, bad move?
Stephen A. Smith, this was a great move. Bill Belichick strikes again. The rich get richer. As you know, late in the year last year, LeGarrette Blount became, to me, the hottest back in football. Remember the game at Baltimore when he ran for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns? Then the final regular season game against Buffalo, he goes for 189 and 2 touchdowns and returned 2 kickoffs for a combined 145 yards. And then against Indy in the first playoff game at home, 166 yards and 4 touchdowns. Wow. And 73 yards in 1 pop. So this is a back who obviously knows the Patriot system. He loves and respects the Patriot system. Bill Belichick knows him and has clearly made it clear to him, young man, this is your last stop. Nobody even claimed LeGarrette Blount, who obviously fell out of favor pretty quickly in Pittsburgh and then left under really ugly circumstances. So to me, it's the perfect fit at the perfect time. It's clear now that Jonas Gray has established himself as the #1 starter, but with LeGarrette Blount, who's actually quite a bit bigger and a little faster than Jonas Gray is, all of a sudden you have as good a 1-2 punch as really there is in the National Football League. So it shores up a running game that for a while looked really in peril without Stephen Ridley, obviously. I thought they were in big trouble. And now they went from nothing to everything. Way to go, Bill Belichick.
Couldn't agree with you more. Matter of fact, I wouldn't have put it past LeGarrette Blount to be a distraction just so he could get released by the Steelers, so he could end up back in New England. He knows that he's a troubled case and that too many people weren't going to be anxious to claim him off waivers. But he also knew about the relationship that he may have had in New England and that the probability was there for him to, just land there yet again. He's got an opportunity, obviously, to compete and capture a Super Bowl championship. I think anybody that watches football recognizes that the New England Patriots are a better football team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think the combination of that, along with being familiar with this system, understanding that even though you're a backup, you don't necessarily feel like a backup, Skip, because Bill Belichick throws a myriad of things at you. 1 minute it's Tom Brady to Gronkowski. Yep. Another minute it's to Edelman. Another minute it's to Wright. Another minute it's a handoff, whether it was to Vereen or Ridley before Ridley got hurt. And now this. You just look at it from the perspective that somehow, some way, outside of Tom Brady, there's no definitive guy that you look at on New England and say, that's the guy. So even though you're a backup, you sort of don't feel that way. And I think from an ego perspective, that plays well with LeGarrette Blount because you feel more a part of the team as opposed to somebody who's playing the role of spectator. I think in New England system, even though I totally understand why Mike Tomlin did it, because Le'Veon Bell was running the ball effectively, about 33, 34 carries for about 202 yards, and there's no reason for his backup to be whining about anything.
Nope.
I think in Bill Belichick's system, I don't think you see a game where LeGarrette Blount doesn't get a carry, but the guy playing before him gets all the carries.
Yep.
Bill Belichick is usually better about mixing it up, and I think that's why LeGarrette Blount probably landed in a good place.
And obviously, they cannot keep handing the ball to Jonas Gray 35 times a game because, to your point about DeMarco Murray, you just can't take that much of a beating. So this gives them a great second option. And frankly, I've never loved Danny Amendola returning kickoffs. I'm just guessing here, you're going to see LeGarrette Blount back there returning kickoffs because when he gets his 250 pounds in high gear coming straight up the gut on a kickoff, he is hard to get on the ground.
I don't know about that in terms of returning kickoffs, but
well,
I think
he
he'll
was
get some action.
sensational last year returning kickoffs, I thought.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
The rich get richer, so says Mr. Bayless. When we come back, what does Coach Avery Johnson say? Is there trouble or is there any